Here we go. It's August 1916, Eastern Front, and things are static, but not static, I guess. As you can see here, everything's still static along till you get to right here. And right here, there's lots of action going on. The Germans attacked here and pushed the Russian units out. Lots of defender demoralized results and kicked them out of that area. And they're trying to work their way onto this corner right here. If they can get this corner, they can grind their way back down and actually go on the offensive again. It's sort of like I've noticed in this game is that you can fall back a ways and give yourself like 2 turns to build up your forces and give yourself some breathing room to build up replacements for an offensive. And that's what the Germans did. They fell back to here, dug in the meantime they built forces up, and then they could throw some into an offensive, and that's what they're doing right now. Also over here, by relieving troops that were here that were Austrians, Austrians were able to move their troops over to here, and they did their own little offensive and took this city back, that or minor city that was here. So they pushed things back. Did take some casualties in the process, but the Russian troops were kind of weak there to begin with, and the cavalry did an end around, cut the rail here, so you got this cut off unit right here. They didn't attack them. They put all their forces into these guys. All them were attacking there, but they were over here, and with their extra movement they had, they were able to bypass right there, forcing the Russians probably to have to deal with these troops before they can do anything. All right, we mosey on over here. Everything's the same, nothing extra, nothing different. These guys should be, I need to put some dug in counters right there, kind of a static defense at the moment. But they do need to put some troops into this area right here, because you got the Allies are moving in right now, going to be causing problems down this route here. That's easily rectified. They can put blocking forces there pretty quickly, rail them in, and just stop and call it good. And elsewhere, let's see, yeah, it's like right here, one small army group can take care of whatever the Romanians are throwing at them, because the Romanians are strong, but they just not on the same caliber as the Germans that happen to park themselves right there. Over here in France, things changed a wee bit. They went on the offensive. They moved all their troops out. They did spend enough time building up forces. This right here is more than enough to handle the British troops that are there, which is pretty evident because they went into the offensive just a little while ago and kicked the Brits out. And they may have to throw some more forces down here to cause problems, because the Germans, as much I said they can lose these cities, but by losing the cities will cause it easier for the Italians to go towards the Allies. Right now, just having these cities is enough to keep the Italians from joining one way. This is the longest I've ever seen the Italians not get into the war. It's like by now they've already been in the war for a year or 6 months. So we'll just have to see what happens here. But if the Italians get into the battle, they can be used over here, protect this area. But other than that, they're just another target for troops to be taken out, because there's nothing for them to fight over here. There's no French, so it's more of helping. Now, if the Italians do join the Allies, they can probably take these cities back and then go out to 7 hexes. So they can just get outside of Vienna, if I remember right. That's basically how things work. All right, so that's everything with the Central Powers turn. Not much excitement going on, other than a few battles, but that's it. All right, we'll be back. All right, here we go. August of 1916, Eastern Front. Well, the only thing that happened was you don't see the Austrians sitting there anymore. They did attack, but they destroyed one unit there, and the other one got an exchange. So the Russians had to lose a unit. So it kind of paid off, where the Austrians lost equivalent of what the Russians lost. So it paid off, but a really big thing was that it forced the Russians to pull back to be able to protect this city, because they had to pull troops back to put into the city again. Otherwise, all the Austrians had to do is just march back into it from the backside. So that is an interesting tactic that can happen at the moment. And at the moment, I was thinking about taking these Romanian cav and rush them up over here and do the same thing. Start, because they can go out to. I just remember. One, three, 4, 5. I wasn't even thinking about it. But yeah, but they're allies. So what will happen is maybe run the Romanian cav along with some up to here. But the thing is we have to figure out how to get, if we can get the Romanian cav to here, they could probably get in behind. That's the problem Russians don't have right now, is all their cav is dead. They got exterminated long ago. But there's some thoughts that are going through my head. Then you see the traffic jam over here. You got some Romanians that broke free. They can get moved marching down here. You got the British cav has moved into the backfield right here. And everybody's just slowly slogging their way up the road right here. So that's the biggest problem I got right now, is just being, there's just not enough rail supply to pick a unit up and move it forward. So you can do basically one stack and that's it, because that's all you can have. All right, over here the British troops marched. It looks like they're coming down the pipe down here. It looks like they're got their sights set on Bordeaux right there, and going down the road right here. So they got enough to take that city with just what's here, but they fell back here outside of Cherbourg. So we'll just see what happens. They want to keep themselves in the game without getting taken out, because there's enough strength here to take out an entire stack. So it's a game of all the troops here that could be in an offensive on the Eastern Front are being tied up over here. So it's kind of a tactic right now. You're doing more help by not attacking than you are just attracting attention. That's the way I look at that. All right, so that is a complete turn for August of 1916. So we're going to come back again and look at, I think we have, yeah, September we got to roll again, or I think for morale and everything. All right, we'll be back.